You just got your asses whipped by a bunch of nerds. Nerds!
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Nerds Podcast, where myself and Pete break down everything fantasy and fandom. Today, we're diving into the world of Game of Thrones, specifically A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, Episode 5, In the Name of the Mother. Pete, did this episode pull you further away, or has the night bug hit you?
Kind of leveled off.
Okay, talk to me about that.
Not just, this is what we were kind of expecting, that Trial of the Seven. It began, the last episode was him and his recruitment of the other 6 knights that he needed to fight with him. So he got a little stabbed he got stabbed in the back by one guy turning against him at the last minute, which I just thought it was like, wow, this is horrible timing, dude. I mean, I know it was they offered him I forgot what it was they offered him, but they got him to turn, and he was, instead of needing just one more, he needed 2. That was like the end of the last episode. And this one, they rang the bell and they came out of their corners and they started fighting, but then kind of pivoted away from that.
Yeah, I saw this as 3 parts, right? We had that beginning part of the episode where we get to start the battle, the backstory of it, of Dunk, and then we get to kind of finish it all off. But we see this classic pre-fight nerves as Sir Raymond and Sir Duncan are vomiting, of course. But you remember Willie Beeman? He would throw up before the game.
Yeah.
And also Eminem's movie, 8 Mile, B-Rabbit. He also threw up before he went into battle with stuff. Reminded me of kind of that stuff as well. And I do enjoy the callback to episode 2 when Doug told Ed that he better be back when he returned because he'd hunt him down with some dogs. And Ed replying "woof" was actually pretty cool on that nature. But Pete, he seemed stuck. And again, we saw, Ed kind of yelling and screaming to make him go. What are your thoughts on the beginning of this whole battle royal?
Love Egg has shown like a passion for the games. Every time they show him, when he's reacting to the game. I mean, this could be the fact that he's playing the part well, and it's a kid. This is a little kid. But he's doing it, especially when they have scenes when they're jousting. He's showing some passion there, like for the games. Like I guess we would at a football game or at a baseball game. He's showing passion there, like he's a fan. Dunk came out, he was frozen, like he had stage fright. It could have been the reality of it. Finally, it's happening. Like, it's popped off now, and I may lose my life right now. And but also that he's responsible for the people that have signed up to fight with him as well. So intense the way it got started, and then he got rocked. He got rocked twice quick, and I'm like, wow, I'll say he's a scrub this whole time. This guy sucks. Or again, he could have been nervous that, again, this is the big moment that they've been waiting for, and a lot is on the line. But yeah, he didn't have the best start.
Absolutely not. I did love the filming on it because the way it started, it was this kind of third-person view, and then they kind of switched it up into that first-person view inside the helmet. I can't recall ever seeing it like that in any film or movie for the most part. So I enjoy, of course, that portion of the filming. But bro, like you mentioned, not starting good. The lance pierced on his side. He's falling off the horse. And, he's getting rocked. And, of course, he gets knocked out, right? And we get to this part where I think it's not needed, this whole flashback. We understood that Dunk was poor. We understand that he came from Flea Bottom. I think they already set that precedence within the show itself. Do you think that whole backstory was needed? Because, it took him, what's the saying in Friday? You got knocked the fuck out. That's what happened to Dunk to take us into this thing. But what did you grab out of this backstory that was fulfilling for you?
Just there's trauma there that he saw a close friend of his who he had said that he loved, and they were planning to get out together, and he saw her murdered, and just you see a lot of the way these guys act back then in that time. They're jerks. And the guy was he was a dick, and they robbed him, and who knows what they were about to do until somebody had stepped in. His who he ended up being a squire for, he's the one who stepped in, and he's the one who stepped in, but he lost his friend. Did I think it was needed? I'm not gonna go that far to say it was a waste of an episode. Did it feel like a filler episode? Absolutely. Was it a bad filler episode? I don't think so. It wasn't as obvious as like the bank episode in Daredevil. That to me was so obvious that it was a filler. It had nothing really to do with the story. They were trying to introduce Ms. Marvel there. So to me, that was one of the more like, yo, can you just throw this in there? But this one, and I get what you're saying. We didn't really need it to understand his backstory, but I didn't think it was as forced as that one, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, I love James Gunn, and I talked about it on our Superman review episode, where Superman is kind of talking about how human he is, and I love that the banter that him with Lex Luthor, and then James Gunn does this thing where though he can ruin an episode with comedy in a sense. This is exactly what this felt like, because I didn't care for anything else. I wanted to see this Battle of the Seven. I wanted to see this Battle Royal. And I get that they wanted to kind of give us more backstory on Duncan, who he is, because he's a Rocky type. He's going to continue fighting until until he's completely out. He is going to continue to fight. And they wanted to show that, hence why he was following Sir Arlen so much. I guess also why he kind of flipped out to save the girl. Tanzel is her name, because Rafe looks so much like her. Yes, Pete, her death was absolutely crazy. I find it the crazier one is Sir Arlen is fighting these two dudes to save the kids, and he's throwing up at the same time. That was crazy to me completely. But it's the idea of the whole Rocky thing. I think you said it best in a private conversation. It's like Captain America. I could do this all day. But that's where it is. That's for the most part, we get to see, that Dunk is a fighter of the soul. This guy. He's not articulate like a knight and things of that nature. Hence, why I think he was good at the end of that fight. And clearly, Dunk, when they kind of get him back, he's at a disadvantage. Pete, he's tall. And the horses are just keep knocking him down. He's just a big target. Now, this third act is what I'm talking about now. As soon as he wakes up, Pete, what are you thinking now? You saw his backstory. You're like, okay, this guy's a fighter in the sense where he's going to continue. He has an engine. What else are you seeing at this point now? Because he's one-on-one with Arian now.
Well, like you said, when we spoke about this before, like I thought about I can do this all day, the Steve Rogers. But when you spoke about the type of person he is, he's a good dude. He's fighting for what's right. This, again, like I just said, these guys back then, they carried themselves like jerks. And, they're also drinking a lot. I noticed that everybody's drinking. And, but it does carry over into their behavior because they're treating women poorly and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what started this whole thing, is because he went to her defense. And again, this guy thinks he's royalty, untouchable. I mean, not thinks that he's royalty. He is royalty. He's untouchable, but he put his hands on him, and that's what started this whole thing. But it seems like he's a good dude, and he's a fighter, like you said. He's big and he's burly, but doesn't have too much up there. But he can. That is going to help him in this fight of this trial of seven.
I did like the way they showed that helmets were being used, like as they kept going back and forth with the views of it, even up to the point where the guy who made the metal, remember he said, "This is I'm making this heavier metal for you," and the way it was on the eye set portion of it, because I mean his eye was swelling up from inside there. Like I thought his eye was out completely. But then they try to stick a knife in there, and because it's thin, it doesn't go in there. But what the immediate portion to me is when Arian tried to stab him and he blocked it with his hand and the knife goes through his hand. Pete, this is some of the craziest stuff we've seen on Game of Thrones. And I got to ask you a question. Do you think this is the best fight that you've seen on Game of Thrones?
It's up there. It was done well. It was done well as far as the way it was shot. I remember when he first put on the helmet and they showed like a first person view. I was like, how the hell is he seeing through this, man? Like, there's no way, man. There's no way he's seeing through this. But it was shot well. I wouldn't say the best. It's tough to say that about anything unless it's clear cut. I think it's tough to say that about anything.
People are saying that this is better than the Battle of the Bastards.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But I put it up there with it. This was done well. I would say this is done well.
How crazy it was, Pete, when Arian flung his sword and went right into his leg. I mean, again, just so many different things that were happening. And then, of course, when Dunk got Arian and stuck the sword on the side of his leg and kind of cut him on there, I was thinking like that was for Egg, because of what Egg had said, where Arian was going to castrate him. So I'm thinking like, okay, this is the revenge on that side because I know this story. And bro, and you know, it's crazy. He took off his helmet, the one thing that was kind of protecting him, but it had to be because his eye was so swelled up against that metal that he couldn't see at all. So he had to take it off, right, Pete?
Well, you look at that, like I just said, with when they showed the first person, so he didn't really have a lot to work with as far as sight is concerned. So if he has one eye down, you think about it, like I gotta take this off, or I'm not gonna be able to see anything because it's gonna hinder your view regardless, even though it's to protect you, of course. But I have to imagine it had to hinder him, especially with one of his eyes being swollen the way it was.
It was completely shot. If you ever watch boxing, man, that's usually a target. Well, for the most part, but of course, Dunk starts getting in the mud, right? And this is kind of the stuff that I've again just quick reads as well. That while Dunk the Tall, Arian was able to beat him. He wasn't going to be able to beat Dunk from Flea Bottom. The way he was grappling in the mud, the way they were going back and forth, that kind of non-fighting in a night sense, right? It's nothing that we really see. It's really just dirty mud wrestling for the most part with knives. But Pete, when he got on top of him and he's wailing on Arian, was it as satisfying for you? I'm like, man, go kill this dude already. Was it satisfying for you to see him wailing on him?
I was expecting somebody to stop him, like something out of nowhere that we weren't expecting to stop him, but look, one thing that's satisfying to see is a bully getting what they deserve, and this is the same thing for me. Bullies are cowards, and this was a guy that was hiding behind his the fact that he was royalty. Yeah, exactly. So anytime you see that, it's a win for me. So.
Yeah, my favorite part was when he dragged him. He just dragged his ass through the whole thing. And because he was too punkish to yell out that he yielded, he had to put him in front because I think he looked back and he saw people were still fighting. So because he wanted the fight to end, he dragged them in front of everyone. And then, let's get to the part that shocked us, Pete. So we kind of get a win here, right? And we think that we've done well. When they take off all of his gear and he's sitting down at that stable, bro, he is so messed up. Like, I don't even know how the guy's still alive. But again, like you said, his burriness, his toughness, and his bigness kind of can take those hits. But Sir Baylor says, nah, don't use the oil. That'll kill him. Give him some wine. Give him to my maester. My maester take care of him. Pete, did you have any signs towards this end of how Baylor was going to be?
No, I didn't think anything of it. Just the fact I was focused on Dunk being that, like you said, he was beat up. He was like, he head to toe. It seems like they hit everything on him. Like, again, you said he stopped the knife. It went right through his hand. He got he got a jab, not a javelin.
Oh, the jousting stick. Yeah.
Yes, he got that right in his side. As soon as it started, he was stabbed a couple times. The chainmail did nothing because he got stabbed through the chainmail a couple times. So he was, and then of course, like we just discussed, his eye. So I was really worried about that. And then they said, and then I remember him saying, yeah, do this. This will help better. So, but then of course, he took off his helmet.
Yeah, bro. I like Baylor. And he was next in line to be the king. He was the hand of the king. He's Egg's uncle. He was gonna bring on Dunk because he said the realm needs knights, and like a good story was gonna be told here. But bro, his brain was being shown, and I guess it was being kept together by the helmet, right? And the fact that it was done by his own brother. I mean, it's this honorable man is dead now, but Darren, his foretelling of that dragon that we spoke of on the previous episode is true now. And we understand that it's not Egg. It was, again, I didn't see Baylor coming. I mean, I know you said you didn't see it either, man, but are you happy in the direction that the show is going away from how it first started?
Without a doubt, it's night and day from the way it started, to be quite honest. But we got one more episode to go. I think that's when that'll be all the meat and potatoes of the fallout of the trial.
Yeah, and we'll be here to cover it. Thank you so much for watching, and we are starting our march to 1,000 subscribers with our anniversary coming up. So like the video if you made it so far through it, and hit that bell to be notified of our latest videos. But if it's your first time here, smash that subscribe button like Dunk smash Arian's helmet. Until next time.
The worst episode ever.